You're now tuned in to the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. That is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself. It's going to make things happen instead of wait for things to happen. And then we put all this together into a series of frameworks, approaches, insights, strategies, and techniques, all underneath the umbrella of one unifying philosophy that is called work on your game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is how to get serious about your business. Yes, how to get serious about your business. Some of you may think you are already serious about your business. Well, good. Because what I'm going to share here today, you can use as a checklist to make sure you are doing what you need to do for your business. But before we get into that, let me give you all a few housekeeping notes. First of all, if you are not getting my daily motivation text me at my number 305-384-6894. Get that daily motivation every day straight to your phone. Number two, if you have not yet claimed your free copy of my book called The Mirror of Motivation, the Self-Guide, Self-Discipline. That book is all about how you become the person you need to become so you do what you need to do. I give you the book free. All you got to do is cover the shipping. That book will help ask some questions that you're going to answer that will change the trajectory of your life. Guaranteed. Get the book free. Go to mirrorofmotivation.com. Number three, my next live event is called Work on Your Game Live. It's taking place in Miami, Florida, February 3rd and 4th. There is no streaming. If you want to be in this event, be in the damn room. Get your ticket to the event by going to workonyourgame.live. Invest in yourself, invest in your business. If you are serious about your business, these are the kind of things that you do. Again, name a serious business person doesn't do these kind of things. You can't name one. So go to workonyourgame.live, get your ticket to the event. I'll be there, you'll be there, a bunch of like-minded people will be there. And number four, any of you interested in coaching, I have one coaching program. You go to workonyourgame.net/apply, put in your information, schedule a time, fill out the quick application, and there we will get on a call. We'll talk about where you're at, where you want to go, what you want to get out of your business and out of your life. And if there's a way that we can help you and there's a way that I think you would be good for the program, I will tell you what it looks like, how it works, and what it would take to get started. That is all at workonyourgame.net/apply. All right, now we got all that out of the way. Let's get into the topic again today, which is how to get serious about your business. Now, I know that there are a lot of business professionals who listen to this show, and many of you also listening who may not yet call yourself a professional, a business professional, but you plan on becoming one. So today what we're going to talk about are the things that you need to be doing now and later that reflect seriousness in your business and will result in your business treating you seriously in return. This is not an all-inclusive list, by the way, so expect further updates on what we're going to be talking about here today. This is not the last word on any of this stuff. I'll be talking about a lot of this stuff a lot more in the future, and there are other things that I've talked about that I won't mention specifically here today that also are part of you being serious about your business, but this is a good place to start. All right, so let's put it that way. So I will offer before we even begin that the contents of what I'm going to talk about here today will be relatively simple ideas that are not brand new to many of you, yet they are routinely violated because of their simplicity. Because they're so simple, people just take them for granted even though you're not actually doing them. So you should think about why that is while you listen to this. Point number one, topic once again is how to get serious about your business. Number one, read. R-E-A-D, read. While it is true that I have asserted many times that information is not the key to your success, I have never asserted that information does not matter to your success. It's just not the number one thing that's going to make you successful, information, but that doesn't mean information doesn't matter. You do need information, you're going to be successful in business. There's a big difference between something being the key and something not mattering at all. There's a whole lot of space in between those two extremes. You need to be informed, and you need to know about what is going on in your particular industry. You need to know what's going on in the minds of your prospects. You need to know what's going on in the lives of your customers and your clients. You need to know what's going on. If you don't know, then you're flying blindly, and the problem with flying blindly is eventually you're going to smash into a wall or into the side of a mountain, and that's pretty much it for you. You need to know what your customers and clients and prospects are thinking about. You need to know what's just how the ground is shifting underneath your feet when it comes to you and your colleagues in your industry. You got to know what's going on and where things are happening in the world around you. The best way to get the deepest information, everybody, is through reading. Why? Because the deepest information is often written down. It is not spoken on microphones. It is not recorded on YouTube. And the deepest thinkers usually put their deepest thoughts into writing, not on TikTok. I want to let that point sink in. Surface level, entertainment level ideas and thoughts are definitely shared on your favorite social media platforms, the ones that are easy for you to consume material on, and they become very popular simply because they speak to the shallowest level of the brain and the shallowest level of the population. But if you want to go deep and you want to join the deepest level of the population and engage the deepest levels of your brain, you got to do the thing that takes the most time and the most concentration and focus, which is reading. It's much easier to watch 10 TikTok videos than it is to read 10 books. Now, let me ask you this question, since you agree with me. Which one do you think more people do? Watch TikTok or read books? Now, most of you will probably answer accurately that more people watch TikTok than read books. Not to say that nobody reads books, but many more people watch TikTok. Now here, let me ask you the next question. The deepest thinkers, the deepest information, the stuff that can be hidden from the masses of people, where is it found? Is it hidden on TikTok or is it hidden inside of a book? We all know the answer to that one too. All right, information doesn't get hidden on TikTok because everybody's looking at TikTok, so you can't hide it. But information does get hidden in books because people don't read. This is why you need to pick up books and you need to actually read. Like, read a book. All right, does everybody follow what I'm saying here? I talked about reading in a lot of episodes of this show. A couple that I'll point out is episode 772. I talked about how I read books. Episode 240, why you need to read a lot. Let me see where else I've talked about reading. I got a lot of episodes on reading. I talked about how to live a life worth reading about in episode number 1326. And when it comes to reading, folks, the reason why it matters so much, because again, I told you that the deepest information is found in the books. Deepest information is written down because this is the simplest way to hide it from other people. So sometimes the inside information that you want access to is hiding in plain sight, but it's just in places that you're not willing to look because you have been too lazy to do the work. I want you to think about looking on your phone. Look at the screen, look at the home screen of your phone right now. Everybody who's listening to me, look at the home screen of your phone. All right, this is the home screen of my phone if you're watching me on video. The home screen of your phone, I want you to think about which apps are the easiest and most fun for you to pay attention to. And then you go into your screen time app, and you can see how many times a day you open each one of those apps. And you'll notice the ones that are the easiest in which to consume material, those are the ones that you open most often. You probably TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. Probably in that order, something like that. Maybe for some of you it'll be Facebook or LinkedIn, where the entries are relatively short. You can consume them without having to do much thinking, and they're easy and fun to consume. And I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with those particular traits, but I want you to understand something. If they're easy to consume and easy to get involved in, that means you're going to have a high level of competition simply because it's so easy to be involved. If you want to separate yourself from the masses of people, you have to be willing and able to do what the masses of people are not willing or able to do. Most of the people in the masses are able to read. They're not willing to read because it's much easier and much more fun to watch TikTok and YouTube than it is to pick up a book and read it, or pick up a trade journal and read it, or pick up even an audio book. I mean, when you could be listening or watching something else, why listen to an audio book? All right, all of these things are the little things that separate you from the masses of people. The question is not if you're aware of them. The question is, are you willing to do them? That's the question that you got to ask yourself. Are you willing to do the things that will separate you from the masses of people? My deepest thoughts, my deepest thinking topics, usually I convey them through written word. That's why I write books. That's why even on topics that I may touch on here on this show, I still write about them in long form written articles. So any of you who gets my emails, you see that. Do you not? When I wrote about the Kanye West thing, it was in writing. When I wrote about abortion, it was in writing. When I wrote about Kyrie Irving, in writing. Now, I might talk about those things on this show, but the deepest stuff goes in writing. And you'll notice that the deepest thinkers, they put their deepest thoughts in written word, not in spoken word. They might speak about it, but it's also in the written format. So if you're only listening to audio or watching YouTube, even if it's my stuff, understand you're only scratching the surface. You haven't gone deep enough yet. Depending on what industry you're in, you should be reading the trade journals of your industry or the equivalent of a trade journal. In other words, whatever the pulse of your industry is, you should be reading whatever that is. All right, and there is something. If you don't know that there is one, that's just because you don't know about it, not because it doesn't exist. If you're in e-commerce, for example, there are certain magazines and publications that are specifically by and for people who are playing in your space. You should be reading those publications. If you're in a consulting field, same thing. If you have a brick and mortar business, same thing. If you're in fashion, same thing. You get the point. Readers are leaders. Another reason why reading matters is because most people don't do it. Like I told you, episode 1025, the opportunities are in the opposites. Do what most of your competitors are too lazy to do. That in itself is a competitive advantage. Point number 2, you need to invest. Today we are talking about how to get serious about your business. The second point is you need to invest. The definition of investing is, quote, to expend money with the expectation of achieving a profit or a material result by putting it into financial plans, shares, or property, or by using it to develop a commercial venture, close quote. Put this definition in layman's terms, this is what I'll do, is putting something in now that you expect to pay you back more later. That's what an investment is. You put it in now and you get more back later. Anybody who's serious about their business or career invests in their business and career. Let me say that sentence again. Anyone who is serious about their business and career invests in their business or career. They don't just say they have one and then hope that things work out, or do nothing and just expect things to work out. In other words, folks, you can't get something out that you have not put in. Understand that there are 5 forms of investment: time, money, attention, energy, and focus. You need to put all 5 into anything that you plan to be successful at. You got to put time in, you got to spend money, invest money, you must pay attention, you must give energy to it, and you got to stay focused. Anything you're good at, you've done all 5. Now ask yourself, have you put all 5 of these investments into your career and business? Time, money, attention, energy, and focus. And understand that there are different amounts of each one. So let me tell you how to answer this question. If you are not getting the kind of returns that you want right now from your business or your life, then you are short on at least one of these investments. If you're not getting what you want right now, that means you need to put in more of one of these 5, but understand the way that you put in more matters, not just putting in more. It's not, let me just put in more time and all of a sudden it's going to work out because that's what Dre said. No, maybe you need to take that time and use that time in a different way, which means you need a different approach. You need some insight that comes from someone other than yourself. This is where you take your money and you invest it in getting information from someone other than yourself, so that next time you put in time, you're putting in time doing a different approach than what you have been doing, which leads to a different outcome. So just putting in more time, period, is not the point. It's what you're doing with the time that matters. This is what I used to tell athletes all the time. Athletes would ask me, Jerry, how much time should I spend working out? If I want to make my high school team, or I want to play in college, or I want to play in the NBA, I would say it's not about how much time you spend working out, it's about what you're doing during the time that you're working out. And if you don't have a trainer or someone around you who knows what they're doing, and you're just going off your own knowledge, you're probably going to come up short because you don't know enough. So you're unqualified to tell yourself how much time to spend or what to do during that time. I would tell athletes that. And it's the same thing I'll tell you business professionals. Most of you are unqualified to tell yourself how to spend your time at work. This is why we invest. This is why we read books. This is why you go to courses. This is why you attend events. This is why you hire coaches, folks. How many times? I'm going to keep saying this over and over again. I've said it a lot of times. I'm going to keep saying it. If you're not getting the kind of returns you want, you are short on your investments. That's how you measure it. How much you've invested is not based on your personal preference of how much you want to invest. It's based on what you need to invest in order to achieve your desired outcome. And your desired outcome should be measurable and observable. Just like we talked about reading, the people who are making it happen in your industry, guess what they're also doing? Investing. They invest in their business. The biggest players in your industry, the industry that you're in right now, they have coaches, they go to events, they sign up for courses, they read books, they hire trainers. All right, they invest in their business. They put money in now with the expectation they're going to make more money in the future based on what they invested in. So my question is, how much time are you investing? How much money are you investing? Have you invested to go to events where the top players in your industry are going? If all the high performers in your industry are making certain investments, would it make sense for you to make that same investment? Success leaves clues, everybody. Look around and see what investments the people around you are, people who are playing the game at a higher level than you. Look what investments they're making and figure out how you can start making those same investments. Not if you should, but how you can. And my wording is very important here. Point number 3. Today's topic, once again, is how to get serious about your business. The third thing that you need to do is you need to plan. Success is planned for, everybody. Success does not happen by accident. Success happens on purpose. And guess what? I have an episode about that. That was episode 864. Success happens only on purpose. Do you have a purpose behind the outcome that you want to achieve? Do you have a plan? Any of you listening to me right now who have answered in the affirmative that you do have a plan, here's my question. Actually, not my question. Here's my request. If any of you says you have a plan, pull it out and let me see it. Take a sip of water while I wait for you to do that. Or while I wait for you to feel embarrassed by the fact that I just caught you in a lie. If you say you have a plan for your business or your career or your life, pull it out and look at it right now. If you can't pull it out and look at it, it's because you don't damn have one. All right, it's not a plan if it's just in your head. A plan is written down. Anyone who is serious about anything plans for it. If you have children, once you knew you were going to have a child, did you start planning for the child before they got there? Maybe you weren't planning to have one before you found out, but once you found out, did you start doing some planning? Did you buy a crib, a stroller, some baby clothes, decide on a doctor or a pediatrician? Most of you, the answer is yes. If you plan on being in good shape, did you plan by getting a gym membership and maybe buying some gym clothes? Of course you did. Anything you expect to have success at, you do some form of planning for it, even if the planning is mental. But the planning I'm talking about here today needs to be written down. I'm talking about it needs to be on paper so somebody can see it, digital or physical, but it needs to be written down. If you're serious about business, your plans must be committed to paper. And here's another way to opportunities and opposites. Most people never sit down and actually write out plans for their success. Now let me ask you a question, knowing that this is true. Most people never sit out and actually write out a serious plan for their success. Many of you who are listening to me right now, don't take it personal. And if you do, you're an idiot, because I'm not talking about you personally. I'm talking in general. But don't take it personal. But many of you don't have a plan written down for your success. But you say you want to be successful. All right, that doesn't add up. That doesn't add up, folks. Don't say you want to be successful. You don't have it written down. You don't have the plan written down for how you will create success. My book, The Mental Workbook, which you can see over my shoulder right here if you're watching on video, is a big red book. It has 500 pages in it. You need to read that book because it will show you how to actually lay out your plans for success in life. If you've been in any of my coaching programs, I already told you exactly what to lay out for your plans of success in life. So you should have a plan as long as you didn't throw it away. Have you sat down and actually written out your plans for creating success? Look at the areas of your life in which you are not getting the success you want. I guarantee you don't have a plan for it. That's why you're not getting success. It's part of the reason. You don't have it planned out, so of course it's not working. As a disclaimer, folks, your plans need not be perfect. I guarantee you they won't be perfect even when you make them. You can sit down for a whole day and plan stuff out. It's not going to be perfect. They don't need to be perfect. The fact that you sat down and actually took time to consciously think about it will separate you from 97% of the competition. You want to separate from other people, the opportunities and the opposites. Do what most people don't do. Sit down and actually write out a plan of what you want to do. All serious people have plans for their success. The good news and the bad news is that most people are not serious about success. Most people talk about success. Talking about something does not make you serious. Actions make you serious. Most people don't take the simple action of planning their success. Therefore, they don't know where they're going. Therefore, they don't know what to do next. Therefore, they feel lost. Therefore, they waste time because they're trying to figure out what to do because they don't have a plan to follow, so they're just randomly doing stuff. Therefore, by the time they finally get around to doing something, they wasted a whole lot of attention, energy, and focus and time trying to figure out what to do. Therefore, they don't have enough time or energy or attention or focus left to do what they need to do to get the money. This is what causes a lot of people to not get to where they want to get to in business. The fact that they have not planned. It's just negligence on your part. So, hopefully that has moved some of you, spurred some of you to actually go and put some plans together when it comes to your business and when it comes to just your success, period. I don't care what we're talking about. It doesn't have to be for business. It can be for whatever you want. It can be for your kids. It can be for your health. It can be for your whatever. Anything that you want to be good at consistently and predictably, you need to make a plan for it. If you don't have a plan, what are you doing? With that said, let's recap today's class, which is how to get serious about your business. I know there's a lot of professionals listening to this and who are listening to this show, and many of you who are not yet professionals or serious professionals, but you plan on being one. Here's some things you need to do to be serious about your business. These are baseline understandings. No matter what level you're at, you need to be doing these. Number one, read. While it is true that information is not the key to your success, doesn't mean it doesn't matter. It does matter. There's a difference between the two extremes. You need to be informed on what's going on, and the deepest information in your space is written down. It is not on YouTube, it's not on podcasts, it's not on TikTok or Instagram. It is written down. You need to be reading. So whatever industry you're in, find out what the trade journals are. Find out the people who are writing about it on a consistent basis. Find out who's writing about the shifts in what's going on in that world. You need to be reading about this stuff consistently, not just when it's convenient for you. Remember, the opportunity in life is in the opposites. Do what most of the people in your field are not doing, and I guarantee you they ain't reading. Number 2, invest. Investing is, in layman's terms, putting something in now that you expect to pay you back more later. Think about what the top performers in your industry are doing. Are they investing in themselves? The answer is yes. I don't care what industry you're in. The answer is yes. Then look at yourself. Are you investing in yourself? If you don't like that answer, then you better start making some changes. And you know what they say in finance? One of the first rules of finance is pay yourself first. What does that mean? People used to always say that. I didn't know what it meant. Pay yourself first. I'm like, what do you mean pay myself first? It means you invest in yourself first before you pay your bills. Before you pay the phone company and those people over there and them over there, invest in yourself, because that investment that you make now in yourself is going to pay you back even more in the future. That's what paying yourself first means. That's what I mean when I say investing in yourself. If you're not making investments in yourself, understand you're falling behind every single day, because your competitors, people who are already ahead of you, they're getting even further ahead of you because they're investing and you're not. And you're talking about how you want things to work out and how you want to be successful, and you claim that you have these ideas on being great, yet you're not taking any of the actions that coincide with greatness. Okay, so if you're not getting the kind of returns you want in any space in your life, I guarantee you are short of one of the 5 forms of investment. And until you make that change, you're going to keep coming up short. I don't care how motivated or excited you call yourself getting. And number 3, plan. Anybody who's serious about anything makes plans for it. If you have children, you planned for them when you knew they were coming. Once you knew you had a child coming, you started doing stuff like buying a crib. Maybe you had a baby shower. Maybe you went and got a stroller. You bought some baby clothes. Right? You did those things, right? Once you knew that the baby was coming and it was inevitable, and I want you to understand, most people never sit down and actually write out plans for their success. And I guarantee you this is one of the reasons why most people are not successful, because they don't plan out how they're actually going to get to their success. So they have no strategy. A strategy is simply a plan of action. Therefore, a system can't help them because they don't have a strategy. Execute on a strategy. So if you don't have a strategy, then the system can't do anything for you. So these are all things that you all need to be doing. And the fact that you sit down and actually take time to consciously plan about your success separates you from 97% of the competition. I keep almost saying 98. We might as well say 98. It's probably closer to the accuracy anyway. This is what serious people do. So if you consider yourself a serious person, then you got to make some adjustments. I just told you what they are. All that said, text me to get my daily motivation, 305-384-6894 every day to your phone. Secondly, go get your ticket to Work on Your Game Live by going to workonyourgame.live. Live event in February 3rd and 4th in Miami with me, 2 full days. You want to step up your performance, your consistency, which means the system for that performance, and to get the results, meaning the money, the fame, the attention, the likes, the satisfaction, whatever it is that you want. All that's happening at Work on Your Game Live. Again, that's workonyourgame.live is where you get your ticket. And third, you want to join my coaching program. I only have one program. I vet everybody who comes through. Go to workonyourgame.net/apply. Schedule a time, fill out the brief application. We'll get on a call, talk about what we need to talk about. I'll tell you what it looks like, what it would take to get started. Work on your game. Dre all day.